West Virginia and Florida are two hotspots for retirement choice, especially for people on the East Coast in the New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia region. And as you can imagine, Florida and West Virginia are very different in many ways. In fact, I can't think of too many similarities other than they're both attractive places for retirement and both are similar politically. So I'm going to compare an area here in Virginia, Berkeley and Jefferson County, which are the fastest growing counties in West Virginia, to Lee County. And that's a popular retirement spot in Florida and growing pretty fast. Fort Myers is in that county and lots of retirees are moving there. So that's what we're going to talk about. And by the way, our contact information is below. And if you want to learn more about the Eastern Panhandle, consider subscribing. So where to start? Money. Let's talk about the money side of things. Taxes. In general, Florida wins on that score. There's no income tax at all for anybody. For retirees, the two states are pretty close. West Virginia recently stopped taxing Social Security income for people making less than $100,000 a year, and they reduced the percent taxed on income. And Jim Justice has said that this is the first step in eliminating income tax altogether. Neither state has an inheritance tax. In West Virginia, you pay personal property taxes on your vehicle. In Florida, you do not, unless the value is over $25,000. But I tell you what, here's where West Virginia outshines Florida: property taxes and the cost of housing. Property taxes on real estate in West Virginia is among the lowest in the country. It's 8th from the bottom. Florida comes in at 24th. So taxes on a $500,000 house in West Virginia would be around $2,300. Same priced house in Florida, it would be around $5,500. I got those figures from the Lee County Property Appraiser Tax Estimator website. So maybe the dollar amount is not exact, but you're going to pay quite a bit more in property taxes in Florida than in West Virginia. Something else you're going to pay quite a bit more for is insuring your property. According to NerdWallet, it costs about 31% more for property insurance in Florida than the national average. In West Virginia, it's 40% less than the national average. So that's a big difference. The median cost of a home in Lee County, Florida is $415,000. In Berkeley and Jefferson counties, it's around $300,000. So Florida wins on the tax comparison, but loses big time on the housing picture. So money-wise, it looks to me like West Virginia is the cheaper place to live when you balance everything out. Another interesting statistics I ran across is a website that ranks states by likelihood of natural disasters. Florida, not surprisingly, is up there in the top 5 with 130 natural disasters since 1953, and that's probably why property insurance is high. And I don't know, it just seems like the hurricanes down there are getting worse. West Virginia is pretty far down on the list of likely natural disasters, with 68 since 1953. And I think those probably occurred in the southern part of West Virginia where it's more mountainous, with flooding in some of the low areas. Weather in Florida, there's basically 2 seasons, hot and not so hot. And you don't see the landscape change there with the season. It pretty much stays the same all year. West Virginia has 4 distinct seasons, and the landscape changes with each season. Winters in West Virginia are cold, maybe 1 or 2 snowstorms every year. Spring and fall are cool. Summer's hot, not as hot as Florida though. So it's just a matter of personal preference. Personally, I like the 4 seasons, especially fall. It's beautiful here in the fall. Next thing, population density. If you are looking for a more sparsely populated area, then West Virginia is the better choice. Berkeley and Jefferson average about 330 people per square mile, Lee County, Florida, about 819. And the lifestyle between those two places are different. Berkeley and Jefferson counties in West Virginia are historic areas dating back to the Revolutionary War. That and the Appalachian history influence the cultural quirks you see here, ghost sightings and tours. Many of the activities here revolve around that. Plus, with all the open spaces here and mountains, outdoor activities are more about hiking, camping, fishing. The outdoor activities in Florida include things like golfing. There's a lot of golf courses there. Also, activities involving water, the beaches. Lots of people there have pools. And there's quite a few retirement communities there, over 55 communities. So there's a lot of planned activities in those communities geared towards that population. In Berkeley and Jefferson counties in West Virginia, there's really not any 55 plus communities here yet. But a lot of people are opting to retire here, mainly because of the low cost of living. And maybe who aren't particularly interested in living in a retirement community, prefer a more diverse area. So the lifestyle, very different between Florida and West Virginia. And again, it's just a matter of personal preference. Crime rate. Lee County, Florida is more populated, so there's going to be more red areas. Red is high crime, green is low crime. This is crimegrade.org website I got this from. The Eastern Panhandle is pretty much all green, except for a few areas in town. And another difference is the type of wildlife. In West Virginia, there's deer, wild turkey. Occasionally you'll see a bear. In Florida, there's dolphins, which is great. But there's also alligators. And that's all I need to know about where I want to be. And with that, I'll wrap it up. I definitely fit the West Virginia profile in just about every category, I think, from the weather preference to the outdoor activities, especially the absence of alligators here. And if that describes you, this area is a great place to call home. And if you are thinking of moving here, we'd love to help, so be sure to contact us. And there's a relocation guide we put together. You can access it. It has lots of good information, practical information about how to register your car, plus information about each county. So you can download that at meetmeinthepanhandle.com/relocation guide. So check that out, and I'll see you next week. Have a great week.